AB on the track, yeah. AB on the track, yeah. AB on the track, yeah. AB on the track, yeah.
What is there to fear? I'm from Black America, it's just another year. You knew the disrespect by your elected puppeteers, but let me show you how to
Yo, what's up, everybody? Cat is looking real exquisite tonight. I like the earrings and everything. That's what's up. Look cute. Give you folks a little bit of time to chime in when you get in. Hit us up in the comments. I got the internet working just fine tonight. I did a different little bit of a setup, and so we're good. We are good. It's all good in the hood. Tonight's business sponsor, Out of Control Bullies. You go follow them on Facebook at Outa, OUTTA, Control Bullies. Or you can hit them up on IG. They got two different IG handles. You have all one word, Out of Control Bullies, OUTTA Control Bullies, or at OUTTA Control Bullies 931. Shout out Clarksville, Tennessee. Also, another special shout out, and I'm gonna shout her out again before the day is over, but shout out to the homie Jessica Lyons. If you can, check out her book. It's actually pretty good. You can find it on Amazon. Everybody uses Amazon, right? So just go to Amazon. Check out Jessica Lyons. The book is A Stone's Cry. Freeing your mind could be a stone's throw away. A lot of times, y'all, it's just about changing your mindset. So definitely check that out. Yeah, and let's get into it. We got some current news. Katrina, I'm gonna need your help with the one because I can't remember. We were just talking about it earlier, but I forgot which Braxton sister it was. But
Tracy.
It was Tracy that passed away. 50 years old, right? Young, and they said it was cancer. Yeah, so definitely prayers to the Braxton families. Sad to hear that. That is very unfortunate news. It's a painful thing to lose any loved one. And, so we definitely want to send healing energy to the Braxton family right now. And, prayers to them definitely as they're going through this tough time. Celebrities be wilding, basically, as far as other stuff going on. I don't even know if I want to give it attention, but it's kind of hard to ignore the elephant in the room. Brent, what's up? We got the DMV in the building. And once again, if you're just joining us, our sponsor this evening is Out of Control Bullies. That's OUTTA Control Bullies. You can find them at Out of Control Bullies on Facebook. You can find them at 2 different IG handles. You have Out of Control Bullies, and then there's Out of Control Bullies 931. Shout out Clarksville, Tennessee in the building. They'll be sponsoring us all month. Actually, we owe them a show, so we're going to give them a show in April too, because we had technical difficulties last week. But we had to get conversation going, so we're going to just do that one because we didn't get a chance to talk about it. For those that watched last week or tuned in, you see that we was having all kind of problems, but I managed to fix it, I believe. Bless you. So today, before we get into that though, some more current news. So obviously Tracy Braxton passed away. That is very unfortunate, very sad news. Ukraine, pay attention, people. That's still a thing, believe it or not. And if you don't realize it, you can see it at the pump. Now I know there's a lot of economists now out there saying, "Oh, this is why gas is high. This is why gas is high." And who knows what the right answer is? I'll just go by Forbes. According to the specialists on Forbes, there's a couple of guys that have chimed into this. Some of them believe that by cutting off Russia, we become ultra dependent on pipelines coming out of the Middle East. So now they can up the price. Also, in an effort to go clean with the Biden administration, we've cut off opportunities for clean natural oil sources here within America, and also a Canada pipeline that would be very helpful. So a lot of people believe that that's why gas prices have gone up, because we've worked so hard to divert from gas to clean energy. But one of the issues that Europe is having, specifically Germany, and they mentioned this in this talk, is that Germany has switched over so hard to getting clean energy that the issue they're coming into is that with solar, well, it's not sunny every day. And then the issue with wind is the wind doesn't blow every day. So with those two things, it's kind of like, you know, how do you convert just to clean energy? What's the healthy medium? And there's a lot of people that believe that gas is a natural resource. There is a healthy way to use it, and then it doesn't have to expel so much toxins or whatever into the air. So just something to think about. $5, $4, shoot, what is it? Was it Cali? $7 gas prices? So I'm just saying, like, yeah, it's tough. So, you know, prayers to anybody out there struggling, because gas is no joke if you got to drive to work. I know it's a pain. Shout out to all them folks working from home. I know they loving it. Shout out to all my electric car drivers. I know you guys are loving it as well. Also, looks like the masks are coming off. The gym, we don't have the mask on anymore.
Yeah, but China said they had a COVID 9 million outbreak. So it's just a month later, I feel like the U.S. is gonna
think we're gonna go back.
Absolutely, because I don't know who created this pandemic thing, but it continues to spur out of control.
Well, we'll have to see, yeah, because what they said, they had something like 9 million infected. That's a pretty big number. Now, China's huge, though. It's like almost 1 billion people that live there.
9 million is a lot.
9 million is a lot. But no one, so supposedly they're trying to contain it. We'll see how well they do at that. I hope they do, because that's going to be a problem, you know, if they, you know, if things keep going. So, you know, hopefully it gets better. What's up? I see you. JT Health. What's good? So, IG, we see you. So, yeah, you know, I'm hoping that the mask can stay off. I know the gyms here in Maryland, they're allowing us to work out in the gym without a mask, which is helpful because Katrina and I go to a workout class in the mornings. And, yeah, like, trying to work out in a mask sucks. So, yeah, definitely, if we could take the mask off, that would be really nice. And then, I feel like something else happened in the news. Oh, Chris Brown. The Chris Brown situation. So, if you don't mind, can you enlighten us on the Chris Brown situation? I know you was telling me about it. I think you know a little bit more details than I do.
I don't know the girl's name, but basically, Chris Brown, I guess, had some consensual sex with a young lady, and then when she reached back out to him to, like, you know, get together again, he was unresponsive via text message, so she got upset and basically claimed that he raped her, which we later found out was not true because he saved the whole thread where she was sending videos in text. So that's what happened.
So yeah, that right there is just crazy. Now the good thing is he had all those texts, because if he didn't have that and those messages, I think he pretty much would be looking at. He probably would have to pay. What she asked for, $20 million? I think is what I heard. I think I heard it was like $20 million. What's his name? The lawyer out of Atlanta that he goes live. I can't think of his name. He was talking about this on one of his streams, and that's just pretty extreme. And it kind of leads me to today's show, right? I mean, because obviously Chris Brown is like, a millionaire. He's super famous. Everybody knows who Chris Brown is. But it's funny because people approach you sometimes based off your social media image. And that's why today we entitled the show, Are You Who You Say You Are, right? So I hear, men and women alike complain about how people approach them on social media. And the question I have for all of you, and folks, feel free to chime in because I'm curious to know what you're going to say. Would you be offended if I approached you based off how you present yourself online? Trick question, right? I'm going to ask it one more time. Would you be offended if I approached you based off how you present yourself online? Yo, Paul in the building, I see you. Drop a bomb for you. So I'm just curious to know what you think. Katrina, I'll start with you. Do you feel like people should be offended if folks approach them based off the way they present themselves online?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That's a very loaded question because I don't know what presents it is subjective based upon interpretation.
I mean, it is subjective, right? So let's use the example of men, right? Because we were just talking Chris Brown. What would you assume if a man is online? He dressed fresh all the time. You see him taking trips. He's taking pictures next to private jets. He's got nice whips in the background. Nice watches on his arm. Audemars, Philippe Patek, all that kind of stuff, flashing at big chains. What would be your first thought? Assuming that, off his IG presence, you're going to probably assume something, right? Now, you may not be right in your assumption, but just based off what you see, what would be your assumption?
You probably would assume that he's some kind of rapper, maybe a dope boy, or that he's very braggadocious.
All right. So then, and then we have to ask the question when it's women, right? And are there any wrong or right answers in this conversation? No, but I think it's good to have some critical thinking here and just to put it all together. So if a woman is dressed, and it's one, and with ladies, listen, I understand some of you guys can't hide what you got, right? It is what it is. But there are some that they curate these images to push a certain sexual image. So if every picture are your breast out, if every picture, she's posing in a provocative way, they got her booty out. If every picture or every video is sexual in nature, somebody licking on a lollipop or a popsicle, or some of these more salacious challenges we've seen, right? The drop down challenge. We had the silhouette challenge. We had at one point you had girls twerking and putting milk in their bodies, just wasting good gallons of milk, right? These are real things that happen on social media. So are guys wrong? And I want you guys to chime in, but are guys wrong when they approach girls in this very sexual manner? Because all they see this young lady post online, or it could be an older woman for that matter, right? All they see when you post online is these very sexual images. So now they think you're this overly sexual person. And as Katrina stated before, that's kind of like a loaded question to ask how we should feel about that person, but they're presenting a certain image online. Should we just assume that this lady wants to be accosted by every man that sees her out and about at Target or at the gas station just because of the image she portrays on social media? It's certainly worth thinking about. Oh, I got KC in the building. So anyways, I got some comments. Let me, in the 216. That's right. You guys are in Cleveland, so Cleveland in the building. Drop a bomb for Cleveland. So Paul had a comment. He said, "I presented myself the same way, whether online or in person. Please feel free to approach me however. In my opinion, there's only a problem if you're presenting yourself as a different person online." I think that's a good point, right? So if you're aware of the image you're portraying, then you should welcome that presentation. Paul, if I could put you on blast just a little bit, I know from looking at your page, you're a family man, you're a Christian man. Most of what I see you doing is singing at church, preaching at church, teaching at church, spending time with your family, and lusting after your wife. That's what I get when I watch you online, right? So I think it would be safe to say that most women are not going to approach you in public trying to get at you, because if you don't know Paul Thompson, you would know very soon about Nikki Thompson, right? Because he going to talk about his wife. And I'll leave it like that, right? I think that's fair to say. I didn't mean, I ain't trying to put your business in the street, but I think that's a safe thing to speak on. So I just went in and went there. I hope you're good with that, right? And then Paul also had a comment. He said, "Yes, guys are wrong for approaching women with anything other than respect. No matter what the image they project is, respect is non-negotiable." And that's true, right? I agree with that. You should go to all people in a matter of respect. But unfortunately, in this world we live in, we don't necessarily live in the most respectful world. So with that, how do you manage image and then your social media presence? Katrina, you being a woman, so I'm curious to say, I know you can't speak for all women, but have you ever had any friends or women that you hear talk about, like guys come at them a certain way? Because you've been in the fitness community for a while, so you know a lot of women that are in great shape.
Don't tell me. I am not in the fitness community.
But I mean, you have been in that world. You was a past athlete, right? So with that, have you ever had women complain about how men approach them based off maybe a false idea that maybe they curated in their own head? But you ever seen like women get offended because guys come at them maybe over sexual or something of that nature based off maybe something they saw online?
I don't know if it was something online, but I've heard women say just in general that a lot of men come across as very primal, and that upon exchanging numbers or having a first interaction, that many of them feel like all they care about is sex. They don't really care about getting to know them or wanting or desiring, to getting to know their I guess, I don't know why I'm having a missed thought, but the things that they like, the things they're interested in. I'm sorry, I'm having a blank here, but basically that's what they were saying. They were saying that a lot of guys don't take the time to like really get to know them. Like it's always about like Netflix and chill, or when can I come over, or when you can come over, or with that booty do, or with that whatever thing do. So I'm not sure if it's social media related or whatever, but I have heard often that women, especially black women, don't feel valued and respect. And then I know there is definitely a narrative that black women in general are over sexualized. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know if it's social media based or just marketing of black women in general, but it seems like people, whether they're black men or whomever, they feel like black women all we're good for is laying on our backs. And I think that we want to change that narrative as a community. So when we talk about changing the narrative of black women being over-sexualized, right? Because, once again, would you be offended if I approached you based off how you present yourself online? So just getting an idea how people feel. Some of you might be watching this after the fact when it's not live. I still want to hear your comments. But is this something that do black women, or I don't even put us on black women, but we do know that a lot of times we see that black women are over-sexualized. But I think in society in general, if you look at it globally, women are definitely sexualized, period, right? We see they don't sell beer, they won't sell Cheerios sometimes. They don't sell anything without making it sexual, it seems, these days. And I've seen all women subjected in that matter. But whose fault is that? Is it the women who continue to take those jobs?
Is it the person directing it? How do we stop it? And when it comes to everyday women, right? Our friends on Facebook, our friends on social media, is there a way that we present these pictures? I mean, because, for instance, people start learning their own algorithms, right? And the algorithms are based off how we respond. So if you want to know, pro tip for all the people in relationships, if you want to know what your man is looking at or what your woman is looking at on IG, all you got to do is look at their Explore page. The Explore page sets up an algorithm in such a way that is based off what that person likes or clicks on often, right? I've tested this out with Katrina a few times. If you look at my Explore page, you see a lot of workout videos, you see a bunch of music, and you see a lot of comedy, because that's what and these days I see even more art and anime popping up too, because that's what I follow on my personal social media. So I get a lot of these same things that pop up in my algorithm, because the way that the AI works in these various platforms is it starts learning what you're looking at. That's why in a lot of ways it seems like the phone is listening to you, because it kind of gets a feel for what you explore. Like your Google, all that stuff is interconnected, right? So it pulls all this information. When you say yes to an app, there are a bunch of little fine print words down there, and it's asking permission basically to take your search history and use it for advertising and what to better throw your way. So the more that, from the user standpoint, you post a certain type of picture, and since we're dealing with sexualization of women, let's just stick to that subject. A girl posts a picture with her breast out, her booty out, she gets more likes. So she's being programmed because she realized, more people are liking me when I post this, right? Then on the flip side, you start seeing more butt and booty on your stuff because you keep on liking all these butt and booty pics and breast pics on your social media. So now every time you go on your IG, you like, dang, that's all I ever see is this. Well, if that's the case, it's because that's what you keep on liking. You double tapping. No, you weren't just scrolling. Somewhere along the line, you double tap on that. That's what you like. So, we can't, get away from it. Paul made a comment. He said, I think Katrina makes a good point about the narrative needing to be changed. I really think that if black men took a stand to protect our women and their image, things would change. And I do agree with that, because that's our part. But how do you, and especially in the world we live in, how do you tell a woman what to post on their social media? Right? Because there are a lot of women that say, I'm freed and empowered to take half-naked pics. That's what, Kim Kardashian and a lot of these women have said when taking these kind of pictures. And they want the best of both worlds. They want to post a salacious picture, and at the same time, they don't want to be met with the energy of being sexualized. So I can protect a woman all day. I can tell my close female friends, I can tell young ladies around me, like, hey, that's not a good look, sis, don't do that. But in the same breath, they have the right to tell me, who are you as a man to tell me what not to post? Who are you as a man to do this? And shoot, we've even seen some situations where it's, who are you as a man to even come to my defense? I didn't ask for your help. It's kind of tricky, but I do hear a lot of women complain regularly about being over-sexualized. But then they get the most likes when they sexualize themselves. And this is not a man putting a gun to their head, because these are not models. These are not, celebrities. We're talking about everyday women that the picture that got a bunch of likes, and they knew it when they took the picture. When they did the duck lips and when they turned their body around and they put their booty front center, they knew what they was doing when they took that picture. How can I protect that? So I have to ask the question again. I'm going to keep on asking it throughout the night, so that way people understand what we're talking about. Would you be offended if I approached you based off how you present yourself online? Moving away from women, because there's a lot of different examples in here. Yeah, there's women being over-sexualized, but then maybe when you see it in a different lane, maybe the thought process changes. What if it's a man that's always flashing money? Should that man be offended when they go on the date with the girl? Because they got the girl, they slip in the chick's DMs, right? Maybe they slip in there because she was looking sexy or whatever, right? But then when the girl looked back at his profile, he flashy, you know what I'm saying? Gucci down, Balenciaga, you know what I'm saying? Them ugly Balenciaga shoes that look like Asics that you spending $1,000 for. Chick know what that costs. They know, they go to Neiman Marcus, they go to Saks Fifth Avenue, they see that's $1,000 pair of shoes. Oh, you got on some Amiri jeans. Oh yeah, you got on some purple jeans. Those $500 plus. Y'all know, y'all be clocking. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see how much the stuff costs. So y'all looking like, oh, okay, oh, he got them little Louis on or whatever, right? The red bottom tennis shoes. That's $800, right? So when y'all go on a date, she ain't trying to do a 2 for 2 at a 2 for 20 at Outback or TGI Friday. She trying to go to the same restaurants you posted on your IG stories all the time. Because every time we look at your IG, you at Del Frisco's, you at Ruth Chris, you at Ocean Air. And mind you, when you go to those kind of restaurants and Maestros, right? These are $500 restaurants. 2 people, you're going to easily drop at least $400. And that's if you're sharing the sides, because they're a la carte. When you go to restaurants like that, they don't come with 2 sides. You buy a steak, and then you got to pay another $18 for the lobster mac and cheese. That's probably more like $30. You got to pay another $16 for the asparagus. Or as some people say, the asparagus. Right? You got to pay some extra money for that. That stuff ain't cheap. That's where she want to go, because every time I look at your social media, brother, you acting like you here. But now, you talking about split the bill. Split the bill? Brother, there ain't nobody splitting the bill with you when you got on $2,000 worth of gear, not including the watch and the chain. You're supposed to pay for all of that. Because based off what I see on social media, you balling. And now you talk about, oh, she just a gold digger. But you knew you got the likes when you put on the chain, the earrings, you had the Yeezys on. You knew what you was doing. You was trying to portray the fact that you balling. Am I wrong?
I mean, that's what they want to do on their social media.
But that's what gets the likes, right?
I mean, I think there is an obsession that looking wealthy and looking famous and looking like you have money somehow makes you better, but we can't just base it only on social media. This has been going on since the beginning of time. I mean, from the time of the ancient Egyptians to the Romans, there was always some kind of classism. So there's always some kind of separation between the has and the has not, the wealthy and the poor. And so by looking like you have more money, it's always been attractive or makes you feel as though that you are in a better position than other people. But we all know that social media is an illusion. There are people who might try on something name brand in the at a store. That doesn't necessarily mean that they actually own it, right? You might be driving your uncle's BMW. That doesn't mean that you own it. So it's all an illusion. So,
but why the illusion, right? So once again, would you be offended if I approach you based off how you present yourself online? Because online, I didn't realize that was your Uncle car, and you didn't make a disclaimer. You know, you didn't say, because mind you can put words in there. I've seen all kind of people. I've seen girls looking super sexy say, oh yeah, you know, I don't look like what I've been through. You need your titties out for that post. I've seen brothers that say, you know what I'm saying, making moves in silence. But they got their BMW plastered on the story, right? The same way they posted those words, they could have also said, just wanted to feel sexy today. That was cool. The young man could have said, or the older man, because I don't think there's an age on that, they could have said, yeah, riding around in my uncle's car, wanted to feel like $1 million. One day I'm going to get there. They could have wrote all of that, because they write everything else. But they don't. They act as if that's what they got. And then when you start taking inventory of what they actually have, you find them wanting and lacking. So, why are they offended when all the gold diggers are in their DMs? Because that's how they attracting the girls. I mean, even before social media, in the club, dudes was popping bottles and all that. Now, what they're not telling you is that they're buying the bottles together. They chipping in. Like, hey, man, you got $50? You got $100? Hey, man, I'm looking at the list. You know, a bottle, what's it called, is only $200. But we know when the girls see them sparklers, they don't think we dropping all kind of money. So let's get the sparklers coming. We just get the cheap bottles, but as long as the sparkles is coming, the girls is going to come too. And now people, they don't overdo it in the real world as much because that actually at least requires some effort. You had to at least pitch together to get the table. You had to at least pitch together and get the bottles. But now, you can just take a bottle, fill it up with some Coke. And you can act like you always got a bottle of Don. You always got a bottle of Henny. You always got a bottle of what's the joint that everybody want these days? I forgot the name of it. The tequila that everybody drinking. Been out forever, but now all of a sudden everybody drinks that particular tequila now. You know, it's the front. But you can't be offended when people approach you based off how you're presenting yourself. And I think all I'm trying to drive home is, if you're going to put a certain image out there, you have to be cautious of it. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's no social media, do what you want to. All right, let's go to the more serious subjects then. A lot of women out here want to get married. We know that only 1 in 4 black women will ever even see marriage. We didn't even talk about divorced. We're talking about just walk down the aisle, both of you say yes. Only 1 in 4 black women are going to see that. But there are some black women, the way they present themselves online, I will assume y'all hate men. I don't get where you desire to be married. I don't see that on your social media. Every social media post I see you posting, men ain't this, my baby daddy that. I can't stand these brothers out here. We done seen them before. And then, God forbid, my wife say something good about her husband. She was being a pick-me. She got picked though, y'all. She got a ring on her finger. You got a ring on your finger. You got chose. I don't know. Say what y'all want to about it. I mean, am I wrong? And then, so which men are supposed to want to approach you based off how you present yourself online? I know some of you personally are sweethearts. I know some young ladies, I would never say their names because I don't want to, that'd be almost putting you out there in a bad light. But I know you're some sweethearts. I didn't work with them or went to school with them back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But every post you see, they hate men. Hate men. But so how are you going to get married when all these brothers are seeing online, or let's say they don't know you from online. They don't have access to your social media. But then they get to meet you. Eventually you're going to probably end up being social media friends or acquaintances or linked up some kind of way, right? And then they're going to see this history of posts where you're talking all this trash about men. What if that turned them off? Politically. There are some folks that will write people off based off their political affiliations. If every post I see, you making a dig at Biden. Because these days, everything is super polarized, folks. So people will automatically assume, because you made a comment about Biden, that means, oh, he must be pro-Trump. That's how some people equate that. That may not be true. I know plenty of people that don't like Biden, that are upset with his performance, that voted for him. But people might assume, just because you have all these Biden hate posts, that, oh, that must mean they are pro-Trump. So then when people see you out in the public, they're like, oh, yeah, I didn't even think you was cool, man. I thought you was pro-Trump. Because of a Biden post I made? Or in the reverse. I've seen people dog Trump. So you assume, oh, they must be liberal. They must be leftist. And then you find out they also pro-choice when it comes to babies. You find out that they're pro-LGBTQ. And then you're like, oh man, but I thought you was pro-Trump. So I thought that meant like you were super religious. What you mean you don't believe in God? What you mean that you're Muslim? But these cases exist out here in life. I know folks that voted for Trump that are pro-black. That actually don't want to see black people getting killed. But people assume, because of the polarization of politics, that if you're pro-Trump, that means you ascribe or subscribe to all the things that fall under that. So I have to ask the question again. Would you be offended if I approached you based off how you present yourself on social media? I know countless men and women that don't have social media, that don't have Facebook, that don't have TikTok, they don't have Instagram, because they are going for a certain job. And they don't, and when they do background checks, yes, they're gonna check your school to see, did you really graduate from here? They check to see, did you work here? Do you know what else they do? Do you know what else you're signing for? Have you seen this in the background checks? where they there's actually like a small article in there that says you agree to them looking at your social media. Most people assume that's just your LinkedIn profile, but no, they can look up your Facebook, they can look at your IG, and based off that, because they have non-discriminatory laws at the job that could prevent you from employment. Am I wrong, Katrina?
I guess they have that.
So, once again, and this is going to sound very repetitive, but I got to keep repeating it. Would you be offended if I approached you based off how you present yourself online? Even from a Christianity standpoint. I know some folks that post a lot of spiritual views online, so you assume these are Christian people. They're blessed. And then so you approach them thinking, hey, this is somebody I could come to with my problems. But you don't want to hear everybody's problems. I just assume because you always praying for everybody online, I can come to you with my stuff because you seem like an open ear, willing to listen. I thought you would be somebody understanding that people go through things because you was posting Joel Osteen all week. You was posting TNGS all week. So I just assume you're the kind of person I could talk to. And I assume you're the kind of person that wouldn't judge me because I assumed based off your Christian post and when you're always telling your story about all the things you went through, I assumed that there'll be some sympathy for me at where I'm at. I assumed that you would have some empathy for where I'm at in my current life because that's what you talk about all the time. As I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that I've been blessed. I have a testimony. So I assume you'd be willing to listen to mine. But you seem very short. And you seem very dismissive of my emotions. And now you have the nerve to be offended that I think you're a hypocrite now because you don't seem to be the person your social media presence presents. Would you be offended if I approached you based off how you present yourself online? This is an important conversation. It may seem repetitive, but we have to start thinking about, yes, there's a duty for us to protect women. Yes, there's a duty for us not to be judgmental. But at the same time, we're born, or actually we're not born with it, but at a very early age, a man is of a few days and full of trouble, right? And surrounded by XYZ trouble. So very early on, people are programmed to live and have biases and prejudiceness a certain kind of way. That's just the society we live in, unfortunately. So when you present certain things, people are going to take action at you a certain kind of way. Other things to consider, right? I know people who are married, and based off your social media, I cannot tell. I know people who are married in the church, ain't never seen a picture of your wife, ain't never seen a picture of your husband. Wouldn't have the slightest idea you have kids. But when I look at your social media, that's what you present. So if someone was to believe that, oh yeah, you heard so-and-so is a cheater, right? They might believe it based off your social media. And then you're offended because they like, I don't know why everybody be thinking I'm some kind of playboy or something. What do they think about me that makes them think that? I don't know, maybe it's the absence of your wife in all your posts. Or you looking like you trying to get some kind of attention. Young ladies, maybe it's because I have no idea you got a husband. So when a dude's in your DM trying to holler, it looked like you were separated. It looked like you weren't even with a man. Katrina just shaking her head like, yeah. I know as for me, if you look at my social media, it's going to be kind of clear. I got a family and I got a wife. It's not really hard to figure that out on my social media. Also, it's not hard to figure out I'm kind of a nerd, right? And it's kind of not hard to figure out that I care about social activism issues. I know that's how I present myself on social media because I'm hoping that people would respond to me based off how I present myself. Also, I try to make sure that I toe the line in such a way that it wouldn't prevent me from employment because a brother need a job for sure. I got kids, right? I got to support them, even if it's from a distance. There's this thing called child support. I pay it, okay? So brother got to have a job. I can't be affording to lose hours or the ability to work overtime or whatever it is because I just said something stupid online, okay? So you got to be careful of your social image because people could use that against you, people. And I don't know about y'all, but I got to stay employed. So there's certain things I would never say online, whether I feel that way or not. It just don't have a place. So then you got to ask yourself, well, what's the better use of social media, right? How do we engage in these platforms, right? I know some people are a little goofier on their TikTok because the kind of people that view TikTok is kind of a younger platform, right? Some people, obviously in your LinkedIn, right? And I've been seeing it creep up on LinkedIn, by the way. Political posts. I always assume you treat LinkedIn like the job. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're at the job, you don't talk about sex, politics, and religion. Those are the three, right? Sex, politics, and religion. You don't talk about those at the job. But somehow, I've been seeing these conversations, not really sex, but religion and politics creep up even on LinkedIn. And I feel like that's a dangerous place to be at. I do feel like we have to have open dialogue, like is it called BRGs, Katrina? What are they called? Those groups at work? Like, you have
business resource groups.
The business resource groups, right? BRGs. All right. So I believe in BRGs, right? There's BRGs for LGBTQ. There's BRGs for Black. There's BRG for Hispanic, Asian, international employees. You have BRGs for veterans, all of that. So I believe in all of that because I believe at work there should be a safe place to ensure that there's diversity and inclusion, right? So I believe in the BRGs. But once again, there's a certain line you might want to tote just to be safe. Because there's some companies, they'll make these political statements because they want to feel like they're on the right side of history. But then we know the mode of people's minds change from like day to day. So what doesn't seem to be inflammatory today could be inflammatory 10 years from now. And we've seen this with comedians, right? They said stuff that culturally was okay back then. And then they're still held accountable to it 10, 15 years later. That's the difference between social media and before. Before, you acted a fool in the club and no one remembers like, oh yeah, there's no evidence or proof that you was acting a fool in the club. But see, now I can go back to your social media and I can see you acting a fool in the club. So stuff that was only like, when EU did doing the butt, everybody was out there doing the butt. Now that came out in the 80s. You get what I'm saying? Early 90s. People was doing the butt. Those folks are 50, 60 years old now in corporate America. Probably wouldn't be the best look to see your VP doing the butt though. I don't think Kamala Harris wants any old video of her from Howard doing the butt. Dude grinding up all behind her. She was acting well within her rights as a young woman at that time. But the thing with social media is now it follows you forever. Normally it'd just be a story of the past. Like, oh yeah, when I was in college, oh man, I wilded out. But now it's like, oh yeah, I know. I saw it in your stories. When they did your flashback from 10 years ago. You was definitely wilding. Girl, you was twerking. I saw it. But now I want you to take me serious because since then, I've got more serious in church and now I'm a first lady. But now some of y'all first ladies are out there twerking. Because we got it on social media. Y'all was out there twerking. Brothers was out there taking pictures with their middle finger up because that's something that young dudes think is cute. I'm going to take a picture with my middle finger up, smoking a blunt, smoking a cigarette. Got the J. Now you're 45 years old, you got kids, and you don't want them smoking. But they're looking like, man, Dad, you did the same thing, if not worse. Would you be offended if I approached you based off how you present yourself online? It's just something to think about. And I think that's why it's a good thing that we have private pages, right? I think that's why I think you have to be careful about maybe friending people at the job on your personal social media. Because you don't want to hurt your pockets. That's a loss. Hit the Mario death for you. Right? So, once again, how would you feel if I approached you based off how you present yourself online? Right? Katrina, any other thoughts on the subject?
I think you said it all.
You think I said it all? Baby, you look tired. You tired, dude? No. We was up late last night. Me and Katrina was out here being bad kids, but we had a good time with family. We was singing. We was playing games. There's a game that we're actually going to play on here our next game night. What was it called? Culture Tags?
I think so.
Culture Tags. We're going to play Culture Tags. That was fun. A lot of fun. I think you guys will really enjoy that at home. So we're going to play Culture Tags here on the Nitty Gritty sometime soon, because that's going to be a lot of fun. But, I mean, that's it. That's all we have for the show today. We're going to move on to some shout-outs and stuff. But I think this is just a conversation we need to have. Have it with your families at home. If you're dating, right, I think this is a conversation you should have with a prospect of a husband or a wife. People break up every day based off social media. And I know a lot of you are like, no. Trust me, it happens. I personally had conversations around that. And, people, you like the way somebody look, you think you're cool, you got some corny commonality. And then you start thinking about the foundational things like faith and, all of that. And then how it plays out online. Because then someone might get embarrassed. Like, hey, you put this online the other day. That embarrassed me. My family got to see that. And then that causes an issue sometimes. And it's easier to tell family, you need to mind your business. MYOB. But not all family gonna mind their business. So then you gotta think about how you're gonna navigate that space. Well, maybe I gotta be a little cautious about how I put this business online, because I might approach you based off how you present yourself on social media. Just something to think about. So anyways, let me shout out my sponsor one more time tonight. Shout out to Out of Control Billies. Rich, I see you out there. Y'all can find them at Out of Control Bullies on Facebook. That's Outer, so that's OUTTA. Control Bullies on Facebook. On IG, they got 2 IG handles. There's Out of Control Bullies, or there's Out of Control Bullies 931. Shout out Clarksville, Tennessee. And you can also email them at Out of Control Bullies. Remember, that's OUTTA, Control Bullies. Bullies with an S, BULLIES at gmail.com. Okay? Out of Control Bullies. Check them out. They got those murals. They got them red noses. They got all the dogs. Richard said, yes, sir. That's right. Look, I'm trying to throw y'all some help. You know what I'm saying?
Help me.
And when you sell a dog, don't forget about me. You know what I'm saying? But they are sponsored this month, y'all. So, yeah, shout out to Out of Control Bullies. If you're looking for one of those brand name, those beautiful dogs, go check them out. They got some amazing puppies over there. Some of them jokers, them XL dogs, they get big. So, I hope you got the space for them. And listen, they got folks hitting them up from Europe all the way to California. They'll get that dog to you. So if you want a bully, holler at them, man. They got the dogs for sure. Out of Control Bullies, thank y'all for sponsoring us. Drop a ball one more time for you. Also, drop a cash. Don't forget to there it is right there, right above Katrina's head, right? Y'all see the Nitty Gritty Show, the Cash App. Hey, donate to the Cash App, y'all. Like, that's how we keep the internet going. That's how we keep the lights on. That's how we keep all of our subscriptions going up. I know you guys are thinking like, Facebook, YouTube, all that's free. Yeah, it is, but not when I boost the post. And also, I use software so that way we can stream. So that way you have all the cool little stuff right there in the corner and all that stuff. Yeah, you need like streaming software to do all that stuff, man. So, that's why we need business sponsors. And that's why we also need you guys to donate right there. That's my little pastor moment. Got to pass the offering plate around. Please donate. Why don't you come? Oh, come. Oh, why don't you come? Altar call. Remember, they're like, please come. Why don't you come? So please donate to the Nitty Gritty Show. We appreciate it. Also, got some shout outs. Once again, got to shout out to homie Jessica Lyons. Shout out to my homie Rodney Lyons, my man Straight, right? Gotta take care of my people. Jessica put out this book recently, A Stone's Cry, by Jessica L. Lyons. Freeing your mind could be a stone's throw away. Great book. It's on Amazon. Go check it out. It's a great read. I had just started reading through it myself. I was happy to post that. I was one of their first customers. But it's not enough just to buy the book. You want to actually read the book too, right? So go check it out. A Stone's Cry by Jessica Lyons. Also, shout out. So I had some really good food recently. And I know they're not a business sponsor, so I'm just giving out free publicity. But if you're in the DMV area, there's a spot called Sugar and Spice. Sugar spelled SUGA, and Spice. It's right here in Hyattsville. I had a chance to try their oxtails. I thought it was really good. I'm not gonna call it Jamaican food because yeah, man, I'm not gonna call it Jamaican food because my wife is Jamaican, right? So we know what authentic Jamaican is supposed to taste like, right? Shout out to my dad, also Jamaican. So we know what authentic Jamaican tastes like, right? I'm wearing my little shirt because I'm posing. I'm not Jamaican at all. But culturally, I've been around it enough that I know a little something. So it's not authentic Jamaican food, but it's Jamaican fusion. So they have some really cool dishes there with some Jamaican fusion in there that tastes great. So if you're ever in Hyattsville, go check out Sugar and Spice. Black-owned business, really good. You can actually get them on DoorDash if you just want it. If you're in the area, you can have it DoorDash to you. So really good food. Also, got some birthday shout-outs. Shout out to Elizabeth Davis, right? With Elizabeth Austin Photography. She uses her maiden name for her photography. But Elizabeth Davis, shout out to her. Shout out to Allie. How do you say Allie's last name?
Allie Smith Gary Eunice.
Gary Eunice. Allie, we love you, cousin Allie, though. So shout out to Allie. And then also, right, got to get to the other family. So shout out to my niece Natalie Altar, just turned 12 and so beautiful. Matter of fact, this weekend she was out with grandma at a tea party. I checked you out. I had your little gloves on. I see you, baby girl, just growing up, getting older. So I see I'll be having to shoot a brother real soon here as you get a little older. Stay away from my niece. You know what I'm saying? Then shout out to my son, my namesake, Juan DeCosta, just turned 14. Voice getting deeper, chest getting wider, you know what I'm saying? Got little muscles and everything. Looking real good. He's a geek just like his dad, likes anime and all that kind of stuff. But actually, that's cool for their generation. It was a geek for me. That's just running around with the pack and being actually kind of cool for them. But he just celebrated his birthday on the 11th. So, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves and had a good time this past week. And then also, shout out to Mitchell and Shelby Holmes. They just got married. And also shout out to Corey Johns on his engagement to his queen. So I see you cuz out there making big man moves, getting married. That's what's up. Definitely congratulations to you. And then congratulations to all of our March anniversaries and weddings, right? Congratulations to all you guys out there celebrating black love. Love to see it. Or any kind of love for that matter, right? Definitely happy for all you guys. Did I forget anything else? Any other shout outs? I feel like I'll be leaving people out. Any other birthdays that might have came up that I forgot about? No? Alright, so I think we're all good here, but once again, thank you guys for watching. We'll be back next week. There might be a guest here, I'm hoping. We was actually going to have a guest here this week, but stuff happens, right? So we get it. Hopefully we'll be able to have them back soon. We missed you guys, so hopefully I'll have you back soon. We're going to try to have some more guests here on the Nitty Gritty Show. So we're looking forward to that. But once again, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you so much. So much. Sorry about last week. I know we had technical difficulties, but I think we fixed that. It seems like we were clear upon all of our platforms today. So that was success. So we're feeling good about that. So look, guys, we're going to be out. I'm going to hit you with a dope beat. Step two. And we out of here. It's the Nitty Gritty Show. Oh, I got